Hi everyone. I thought I'd put this video together just to explain one or two questions, answer one or two questions that I get asked quite a lot. When I'm doing my lessons, I tend to get asked, why am I thinning it? Why am I catching my chips and my pitch shots heavy? And as a rule, they tend to be for a very similar reason, although people don't tend to understand why. So what I've got here is a short video of Luke Donald, one of the world's best chippers, pitchers and putters. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this run through, and then we're just going to isolate a couple of pieces and explain why he is so good at what he does and where the average weekend golfer goes wrong. So if I just play this through. So you can see from that there, quite a tight lie, practicing out in America I would imagine somewhere. And he's just nipping that perfectly off the turf. He's not digging the leading edge in, he's not catching it fat, he's not thinning it at all. And there's one or two reasons why he does this so well. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a line at the side of his head here. I know the camera's a little bit wobbly in this footage, but you get a pretty good idea of how he manages to strike it so well. I'll just run this to the end of his backswing. I know it's only a short shot, but the technique's still the same. So one thing you can see there straight away is when he gets to the completion of his backswing, you can see that his head and his upper body is actually moved towards the target slightly. This allows him to make sure that he hits the golf ball first. Sorry about that. Yeah, this allows him to make sure that he hits the golf ball first. Now, one thing I tend to see a lot with a normal weekend golfer is when they set up to the ball, they have the weight quite central, so 50-50 between the left and the right foot. Luke here has his weight ever so slightly into his left side, just to make it easier for him to hit down into the ball and not behind it. And then as he starts back, he straight away, his head moves just a couple of inches, but it's definitely noticeable towards the target. Now, what a lot of people would do from this position here is, as they then start the downswing, the head would move back this way and the wrists would uncock too early. Now if we just play this down through to impact, you notice that his weight stays forward, if anything going slightly further forward into impact. You can see that the club is working down into the back of the ball into impact. So you can see there again how much his weight's moved forward, and then as it moves through to the finish, look how well he holds that position there. One thing I tend to see a lot when I'm coaching is, instead of having the left arm and the club as pretty much one, the right arm, sorry, and the shaft pretty much as one, what you tend to find is that the wrists uncock pretty quickly and the shaft ends up in this kind of position here, almost like they're trying to nip it off the turf and trying to loft it up in the air. As soon as you start to do that, it means that the club is going to be working in an ascending manner as it reaches the golf ball. So as we said here, you see how Luke, as he gets down into impact, the club's still working down, and then from this point up starts moving upwards. What you tend to find is that most people tend to bottom out around here, and then the right hand takes over, lifting the club up out of its descent too early, catching somewhere around the middle of the ball or even the top. So So you start thinning them, and if you don't let the right hand take over too early, as you can see there, the bottom of the arc would be too far behind the ball. Start catching them a bit heavy, a bit fat, and then the ball obviously doesn't go as far as we want it to. So the main points really that you should be thinking about when pitching, to try and strike it properly, is to get the weight forward slightly at setup. Doesn't need to be a lot. The further forward you get it, the steeper the angle of attack into the ball, and if you get too steep, you make the leading edge too sharp, and you're just likely to dig it into the turf, which is no good. So get the weight forward slightly, and then as you swing back, allow your head to move a couple of inches towards the target, and then keep the body moving forward. This will allow the wrist to uncock in a steady manner, not too quick, and then hold that position on the way through. You can see there the right hand doesn't take over too quickly, just holds the face open. Making sure the club's still working down into impact, but you're still keeping the loft on the shot, so you still get that nice bit of control. But enough power on the shot to get the ball going where you want it to go. So weight forward, in the backswing let the head move towards the target, and then keep the body moving forward down into impact, and then hold that position into the finish. Hope this was useful for you. Any questions, don't be afraid to send me an email. It's daleathletpga@hotmail.co.uk. Bye for now.